What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Put the Game On podcast. It's Centeno, the host, and I got my boy Rolf in Chicago. I'm currently out of state, moving around, doing some different things. I got one of my guys today, Brian. What's going on, man? How you doing?
Good. How are you, man?
Good to have you on the show, man. I've been good.
Appreciate it.
Let's get it. So you know what we do? We talk football, we talk sports, we talk picks, we talk all the kind of fun stuff that's related to football. We are extending on to UFC. We got soccer coming on. We got boxing. We got NBA, hockey, everything we could talk about. You know, different segments. It's a new year, new season. So let's get it. I'm excited. Rolf, how you doing out there in Chicago, man? We miss you.
Oh, thanks. Yeah. It's great. It's great out here. I think Chicago during the summertime is really nice.
Yeah, no, it is, man. I miss
really
it.
Nice.
I miss home for sure. Nice to see you soon. I'm coming in town soon, so definitely got to see you. But let's get right into it. Football talk. We're 2 weeks away. Once this episode drops, we're about 2 weeks away from week 1. Eagles against the Cowboys opening night. Real quick, who do we have, boys?
I mean, it's impossible not to pick the Eagles, isn't it?
Right.
They're coming off the Super Bowl win.
You got a Super Bowl win, but hey, remember last time Chiefs won the Super Bowl and then they lost to the Lions in week 1.
They do have all the pressure to start off hot.
Yeah. Ralph, Cowboys or Eagles week 1, game 1?
Cowboys I think you guys are underestimating Dak Prescott. I think, no, I'm just kidding. Yeah, for sure the Eagles are going to slam them. They're going to slam them. And they lost their coach. And honestly, I think McCarthy is a good coach.
Yeah.
So I think they will feel his absence.
Yeah,
and we will
fair.
See it in display.
Yeah,
That's what I think.
People are writing the Cowboys this year. I mean, right now we got Micah Parsons fighting his contract, so who knows what's going on. But people are writing high in the Cowboys. I mean, they do it every year. Let's be honest, right? They're always, it's America's team. They always choke in the playoffs.
I just don't think it's a year where they can remain competitive.
No, I agree. Especially with their division being the Eagles, who are, you said coming off a Super Bowl win, super hot. But let's talk some other stuff real quick. Let's get into I want to talk about coaching impacts, right? This year we had a lot of switches over from, different head coaches from different teams and stuff like that. Who do we think is going to make the biggest impact on these teams this year? Brian, I'm going to start off with you first.
Well, I mean, I think it's the most obvious one. Everybody's been talking about it all summer. I think you have to go with Ben Johnson, right?
Yeah, agreed.
He's got all the hype. He's coming off a strong team with the Lions, and he's bringing that expertise to the Bears. And, you pair him with Caleb Williams.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see what goes on. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Honestly, I've never been a Bears fan, but I have to agree. I'm riding the train right now. The Ben Johnson train, Caleb Williams hype. Like I'm hoping they do well for my city. My boy Rolf, that's his favorite team. So what about you, Rolf?
I'm going to have to agree. I think if we're talking coaching impacts, there was a lot. I think that was the biggest thing in the offseason was just these coaching signings.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to agree with Chicago. I think Chicago has already seen such an impact with Ben Johnson on staff.
Yeah.
We've seen it in the preseason. We've seen it in the offseason about these reports of him just changing the culture. So it's already taken impact. And I think I'm also going to go with the Raiders. I think Pete
that's
Carroll,
interesting. The Raiders, okay.
Yeah, I think Pete Carroll's is expected to change this team. It was one of the poorer teams in the prior year. So I do see him making a change. And then obviously Jacksonville Jaguars too got some new coaching. So I'm expecting a big change from the Jaguars if we're looking at it in a coaching perspective.
Okay, I like that. I have right into I have the Patriots. Remember my boy Miguel, big Patriots guy. They got Mike Vrabel.
Yes.
Mike Vrabel came in. I think this team's going to be, a bigger threat than they've been. So I'm excited to see what goes on with them. With Drake May, they got Stephon Diggs on their team. They got a couple good pickups in the draft. Another team that I have, and I don't know if you guys agree with me, I got the Jets, the New York Jets. They bring in Aaron Glenn, who was dominating on the Lions, right? Justin Fields. They picked up some good stuff on the draft. They got some good players in. They got Garrett Wilson. I can see them doing better. Obviously, last year with Aaron Rodgers, they were not looking the best. They got rid of Devontae Adams to the Rams. But I can see them, making some noise. I think Aaron Glenn's going to come in and change the perspective of this team and, the culture of this team, and, turn things around. Not maybe not playoffs yet, but, at least a good winning, either 9-8 record or, at least 7-10, 8-9, a better record than they've had in the last couple seasons.
I agree. Yeah, for sure. I see that.
What about you, Brian?
I do want to talk about the AFC West as a whole. I think all 4 teams, their success depends on their coaching for sure. It's a very stacked division.
That is, that's the biggest division.
And I think the winner of that division will not only be the strongest team, but I think the strongest coaching staff for sure.
Yeah. No, yeah, I agree with you. It's a division that, it's going to be a coach's battle in that division.
Yeah,
so I'm excited for
sure.
that. I'm excited to see what Pete Carroll does coming back to the NFL. Harbaugh with the Chargers.
It's interesting because I don't know if you guys know, but Pete Carroll and Jim Harbaugh kind of have a beef history. I don't know if you heard of that.
No, I haven't.
Oh yeah, they've been at each other's necks for pretty much their whole, maybe like a good portion of their career. But I also think if we're talking about coaches who have kind of stayed in the team, I think Jim Harbaugh is going to escalate the Chargers even further, even more. Because look at the change that he did to the Chargers last year.
Yeah,
massive improvement. And so I see the Chargers just continuing that upward trend.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. I've been seeing a lot of things that the people are writing on the Chargers this year, and just Justin Herbert himself, like he's gonna have a powerhouse season. Come back hot. The rookie that we first met, he was good. Like he 4,000 yards. Like he was throwing ball. He was going crazy. So I'm excited to see him hopefully do something. And like I said, with Jim Harbaugh behind him, change things around and just be a very competitive team this season.
Yeah, I agree.
So those are our teams for coaching impacts. Division winners. Every season, every episode we break, or every week 1 episode we break down division winners, kind of see where we're at in the beginning of the season, and then we can see after how we did. Let's see if we were good, right with our picks. So let's talk about the AFC East: the Bills, the Dolphins, the Patriots, and the Jets. I think this one's pretty clear. The Bills are going to win this one.
I think the Bills take it. I mean, the other teams have a young core and they're set up for success. I just don't think they can compete right now.
Yeah, not yet at least. Josh Allen is just too damn good. Ralph?
Yeah, I think this is not even up for discussion. Bills all the way.
Yeah, Bills all the way. We're rooting for the Bills this season. At least I am. Josh Allen deserves his ring, but we'll see. All right, my division, as you can tell, again, if you have been a fan of the show, Bengals all day. We got the AFC North, the Ravens, the Bills, the Steelers, and the Browns. I would love to give this to my boys, but honestly, I don't think we're there yet. We're not going to be that elite just yet. I hate to shade my team, but I'm going to go with the Ravens to win the AFC North again. Powerhouse. You got Derrick Henry, Lamar Jackson alone. Domination.
I don't think you can stop that duel.
You can't.
Not only that, but I don't think you can get past their defense.
No, we can't. Well, Joey B can. I don't know about Joey B is, Ralph, AFC? No.
I agree, man. I mean, this is easy. This is the Ravens all the way, and then we got the Browns all the way at the bottom.
Man, watch the Steelers win this damn. Aaron Rodgers comes back and just goes fucking 17-1 and shit.
Oh my God. You know what's crazy is like, I don't know. I mean, under Aaron Rodgers, I could see the Steelers having their first down year, with a negative record. Mm-hmm. Because it's Aaron Rodgers, but no, I don't think anything's going to change with the Steelers. I think Aaron Rodgers, I think the Steelers are just too set in stone in coaching to ever go 17-0.
Yeah,
I don't see it. I don't see it.
All right, so we got the Ravens in the North. The AFC South. I feel like we have mixed reviews on this one. At least one of us does. I'm taking the Texans again. They've been on a roll. Yes, he had a slump last year, right? Let's agree on that.
Yeah.
But I think he wakes up this year. He comes back better, and he comes back as the rookie that we saw who, broke records, rookie of the year, kind of playing. I'm taking the Texans.
He's young, and not only that, but he has valuable playoff experience now at such a young age.
2 years in a row, playoffs. Ralph?
Yeah, I mean, Texans is a good pick. I mean, I think it's the safe pick for sure. But I'm actually going to go with the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Oh,
I think Houston is still trying to figure out how they can make that next step. And I think Jacksonville Jaguars with their new head coach, with draft picks, I think they're a completely new team. They're exciting to watch. I'm going to keep an eye on them. I think they barely take the division, though.
No,
obviously, the Houston Texans right now are strong enough to hold that position.
Yeah.
But I think if they experience some adversity, Jacksonville Jaguars are going to take advantage of it. And then Colts and Tennessee Titans, I think, are going to stand the bottom.
You know what? Let me bring in a random question. So, speaking of Jaguars, remember when Trevor Lawrence was coming out of college? He was like a generational talent. He was supposed to be this big new, the best quarterback coming out of college. Do you guys think this season defines that talk?
I think the only thing holding him back is coaching.
Okay.
He hasn't been gifted with, incredible coaches.
Do we think
he
Liam
did
Cohen
during college? You know what I mean?
Yeah, he had.
I don't think it's a coincidence to have a stellar high school career, college career, and then all of a sudden goes down and then
yeah. I mean, you're drafted by the worst team in the league that season, so it makes sense that you're not going to go into the best hands.
But credit to him, he was up for the challenge. I've never seen him complain, and
yeah, that's true. Okay, Ralph, what do you think about this?
I don't know. What are you guys' thoughts on Doug Peterson? I think he's a very capable coach.
He was solid. Yeah, I agree. He was solid.
I think he does a great job. I mean, he's coming from the Andy Reid coaching tree.
Didn't he win a Super Bowl?
Yeah, he won it with the Eagles.
I think he did the most he could with the Jaguars. But I don't know what happened. I mean, he's very, very capable, but I don't know what didn't click it in Florida with him. But I don't think he was necessarily like a bad coach that maybe prevented Trevor Lawrence from growing.
Yeah. Okay. That was just like a quick side comment. But yeah, I have the Texans, and then you have the Jaguars. Okay. And then we got the AFC West. We have the Chiefs, the Broncos, the Chargers, and the Raiders. Brian, I'm going to give you this one.
I think it's obvious who I'm picking here. I mean, I know we lost the Super Bowl, but by the
way, he's the biggest Chiefs fan I know. Sorry, I had to say that.
Well, I mean, I've always been a Chiefs fan since a kid. I mean, I'm from there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But with that being said, I do think, although we lost the Super Bowl, I think we remain the standard, and I think the rest of the league is still catching up to us. And everybody is building their team around stopping Mahomes.
Yeah.
So I believe we remained AFC West champions.
Okay. Ralph?
This is tough. I mean, this is a great division. I would have the Chargers or the Broncos taking the division.
You and the Chargers, man. You're running the Chargers high this year, huh?
Oh yeah, I got the Chargers high for sure. For sure. I think they are going to take the next step. Yeah. Jim Harbaugh cannot digress. That's just me, but I don't see him taking a step backwards unless some catastrophic thing happens.
Yeah, no, I agree. But you know what? I'm gonna throw a curveball to you guys. I have the Broncos winning this division.
I just don't see it.
After last season, they were just dominant, bro. Like they look good. They were taking down teams pretty heavy. Their struggle was the Chiefs, and they almost took them down.
They had real success. Oh, to be fair, we struggle against our division rivals.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah. So
okay. Let me ask you a question. What difference do you see in the Broncos that is going to make them first place in this division?
Experience. It was the first year for Bo Nix, right? Rookie season, and he did very well for what was expected. Right now he's coming in. He's again an older quarterback coming out of college, so he has extra years on him. And he's gonna just bring that in and continue to grow. He's got good coaching. He's got really good players and no really big stars that are getting big contracts or stuff like that. But so it's a good, solid, average Joe team, as you would say.
Exactly.
But they are doing everything right.
But do you think they can beat the Chiefs twice this season?
At least once, man, not twice. But and I could see them winning at least a 1-1. I think the Broncos are more than capable. Watching them last year, watching them play against these teams that they were giving a battle for. I can see them bring down the Chiefs.
They're scrappy. They're scrappy. I'm gonna give you that, but I just don't see it. If they have what it takes to
take down Mahomes,
take the division rival, not just the Chiefs. I mean, like I said, like Ralph said, the Chargers, they're looking strong.
Yeah.
The Raiders, they're gonna have some improvement, but I just don't see them winning this division.
Is Andy Reid again?
I think, like I mentioned before, it's going to be a clash of the Titans. It's going to be a coaching battle.
Yeah. Okay.
I think I agree. I think with the AFC West is going to be what the NFC North was last year. You know how everyone's kind of hyping them up, like obviously outside of the playoff, how the playoffs turned out. I don't think any of these teams are first round exits, except the Raiders, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe the Chargers. But I think they're learning from it.
Okay.
But they are going to be the toughest division in the entire NFL. I think the NFC North is cooked in that matter, but they are going to be the new tough crowd.
Okay. I agree. Again, coaching is everything in this division, so it's gonna be fun to watch.
I will say I can see the Chiefs, the Chargers, and the Broncos. I can see all three of them, getting a good handful of wins.
Yeah.
Remaining above 500. We haven't seen enough from the Raiders to really comment.
Yeah.
I'm gonna remain neutral on the Raiders. I'm not gonna say they're gonna be terrible this season, but I for the sake of the division, I want them to be competitive.
Yeah. All right. I like that. Let's move on to the NFC North. We have the Green Bay Packers, the Lions, Chicago Bears, and the Vikings. Ralph, this is your division. I'm gonna let you start with this.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is another excellently coached division. Some of the strongest coaches in the NFL are in the NFC North.
Yeah.
In my humble opinion. But I think it's tough. I don't see the Bears taking it. I don't see the Vikings taking it. The only thing I could see is probably the Packers or the Lions, and I'm leaning towards the Lions. Give me the Lions again.
Back-to-back division champions.
Yes.
All right. I'm not going to ride the Lions this season. I'm going to take the Packers. It's Matt LaFleur. We know he's a great coach. Jordan Love does scare me. We just found out he has surgery for his thumb, which is now like, how long is he going to be out? We got Malik Willis.
He's going to have more interceptions because of it.
Right. Maybe he's going to fix it. Maybe he's going to have less interceptions.
Okay.
Nah. It's just they're due for a win. They're due for a good year. They had a good year last year, but, quick first round exit. You're fighting against the Vikings, who were really good, the Lions, who were amazing. Now they lost some pieces, but I'm riding with the Packers.
Well, let me ask you this. Do you think Jordan Love remains the future of this franchise?
No. And I said that when he first got drafted. He was not my quarterback. Just trying to cause some drama, bro. No, I was never on the Jordan Love train. I never really cared for him. And, Ralph knows I've always talked crap about him, as a quarterback, Mr. Interception, Mr. Inconsistent, he'll throw, good, really good games, and he'll have 6 picks the next game. And it was, it was tough to root for this guy, in the beginning. So last year, I finally, got to see
some positives.
He could be the franchise. He could be the future. I feel like this season's going to define it for him, for me at least.
I think he's been with the team long enough to where if we don't see results this year, I think they should move on from him for sure.
It's like him and Trevor Lawrence. I feel like they're in the same, that same boat right now. This is your season to really make an impact. If not, got to move on.
So if you're the Packers GM, what are you doing?
I'm tanking this year. I'm going to get Arch Manning next year. I got Arch.
Just tanking?
Give me Arch Manning next year, man.
No, I don't want him in this division.
No, man. I'm sure Jordan Love has what it takes. They drafted him for a reason, right? It's just it could be receivers, it could be injuries. There's a lot of things that come into view of this. Is he the quarterback? Is he the future? He's good. We've seen him play a really good game. We've seen him, play in the playoffs, right? He can play. He can handle himself in the playoffs. It's just I feel like this is the season we don't figure it out this year. We got to see what's next because Malik Willis is not it.
But at what point do we point to blame at their star quarterback? He's supposed to lead them to the promised land, and it's not happening.
That is very true. Let's move on to the NFC South. We got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We have the New Orleans Saints, the Carolina Panthers, and the Atlanta Falcons. For me, this one's pretty easy. I'm going to go with the Tampa Bay Bucks. You got Baker Mayfield, Mike Evans. You got these dogs on this team. Michael Penix on the Falcons. I don't know if he's going to be standing out just yet this year. I feel like he still has, some work to do. Bryce Young looked better last season, Ralph. We talked about him last year, quite a few. He looked good, but it's this team is still, to me,
I think they're just not at that level.
They're not elite yet. They're not crazy competitive yet. They're almost there. They're scratching the surface, but they still need some work. And the Saints have no quarterback.
Yeah.
They have no quarterback. Spencer Rattler. They're going to tank next year for Arch Manning. That's the team that's tanking this year.
Yeah.
They want Arch Manning next year.
No, this is the easiest division. I think Tampa Bay takes it for sure.
Yeah.
So I actually have a curveball. I think the Falcons take it.
Oh, okay. Tell us
I
why.
think they're quietly stacked. I think their defense has improved and their offense is fast and versatile. And honestly, I think Penix is the truth.
Yeah. Okay. I like that. And I like. He's good. I like him. I watched him. Again last season. I watched him in college. He was good. Don't get me wrong. I'm just scared for this Falcon as a collective. The whole thing. The whole everything.
I remember last year the game we played against the Falcons. We definitely struggled against them.
Yeah.
So I think if it clicks for them, I think they run away with it.
Okay. Like that. Bijan Robinson. Who's drafting him this season? Bijan Robinson. They're saying Kyle Pitts is a draft or fantasy draft pick this year. That should be good. I don't know.
I wouldn't risk it.
I wouldn't risk it either, bro. Drake London. They got some guys. They got some quality players that can make a difference with Michael Penix. So I'm not mad at that pick. All right, let's move on to the last division, the NFC West. Who do we have? The 49ers, the Seahawks, Cardinals, and the Rams. Ralph, let me let you talk about this one.
49ers. I think if they stay healthy, 49ers. I hear Matt Stafford is questionable right now.
Yeah, I think I saw that.
He's getting older. He's more prone to injury at this point in his career. And I think the 49ers are still young enough, well coached. Brock Purdy, despite all the criticism that he gets, I think is a very, very capable quarterback.
Yeah.
I think he's taking the West. He's taking the NFC
McCaffrey's
West.
back and healthy. Excited for that.
Yeah, still not picking him though.
Yeah. It's going to be tough. I don't know. I might not take him either if I get a first 5-round pick. I'm not picking him. But I'm taking the 49ers as well. Again, I agree. Brock Purdy, despite the criticism, he knows how to play. He's very humble in the pocket. He knows what he's doing. He's only getting better. You got your best weapon back. We lost Deebo Samuel, but I don't know if that was much of a loss. I'm not gonna lie. Brandon Ayuk is still questionable with everything going on. George Kittle, and then of course Kyle Shanahan, one of the best coaches that we've seen. So, but I like the Rams. I like the Rams pick. I'm not gonna lie to you. Seahawks, Sam Darnold. I don't know if I'm riding that wave. Maybe it was just. I feel like it was just a Kevin O'Connell last year. The Kevin O'Connell effect, and the Vikings.
Kevin O'Connell effect.
Well, yeah. So I'm gonna take the 49ers. What about you?
I think I'm taking the 49ers as well. I think they're still the most complete team in this division. They've still got an elite defense. They've got weapons everywhere, like you just said.
Mm-hmm.
You can make an argument for the Rams. I think they made a deep playoff run and they can still make a push for the division this year. But I think the 49ers are still the more complete team. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, 100%. That's what I'm writing for. All right, that's our division picks. Let's see. We'll touch back base. Maybe midway through the season, kind of to see where we're at, where the standings are at the moment. Real quick, we went through all the divisions. Ralph, who do we have going 4-0?
4-0. It's tough. I'm gonna say the Bears.
The Bears. Oh snap! Where'd they go last year? Weren't they like 3-1 or something? 4-2, right?
They went 4-2. Yep.
Okay. You think Benjamin's gonna come in and bring the Bears to be a 4-0 team?
I think so. I'm looking at the schedule right now. We could take the Cowboys. We could take the Raiders. That's gonna be even. That's gonna be real even. We could take all these teams. Honestly, we might lose to the Lions. That's at home. That's at Lions at home. We're probably gonna lose it, but I think if we play smart and we play accurate, we could take it home. Yeah. It's going to be the hardest 4-0 ever, but I'm taking the Bears.
Okay. Yeah, I have the Eagles. I think they're going to stay. If they stay dominant, they stay who they are, consistent. 4-0 should be no problem. I also, honestly, we talked about this last week. I think my boys, the Bengals, on paper, they should go 4-0. They have an easy first 4 games. We got the Browns week 1. That should be their motivator game to, come in, win this game easy, blow out the Browns, and then consistently beat these other 3 teams and start off 4-0. So I'm hoping we'll do that. Again, we know the Bengals, they go 1-3, 1-4 every season.
You got it, man. So, you got the schedule.
So it should be doable. We should get it, but we'll see, man. All right. That was just a random question. Okay. All right. So we went through divisions now. We talked, who's going to go 4-0. Who do we think is going to be disappointing this season? Go ahead, Brian.
Yeah, I think the Bengals. I think they have it all writing on the line. I think it's a make or break year for Zach Taylor.
Yeah,
I think last year he was on thin ice and they cut him a break. But I think if they don't make a deep playoff push.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they're going to be looking for a new head coach next year.
Yeah, man. Give me Ben Johnson. All
Never.
right, Rob. Who do you have as your top disappointing team this season?
Top disappointing team. Oh, so many. It's hard to choose. I think I'm going to go with the Patriots.
Okay.
I think a lot of people are riding high on the Patriots. Drake May is not bad. They got a new coach. They got some weapons. But I think there's going to be some growing pains. I think if anybody were to have a sophomore slump, if you will, it's going to be Drake May and the Patriots.
Okay.
I mean, that's how I see it. That, or I mean, maybe the Atlanta Falcons, but I think they are more complete than
Yeah,
the Patriots.
I can. Yeah, I think like Brian had said earlier, they're more a complete team.
Well, I mean, the thing with the
Right.
Patriots, I don't think anybody's necessarily expecting them to make noise, are they?
Yeah.
So I don't
True.
necessarily think you can be considered disappointing per se if you're not meeting those expectations.
Yeah. No, yeah, that's a good point actually. But I mean,
the lens that I'm looking at it through is just kind of improvement from last year. They're still at a very, very early stage, so I think people are still expecting them to at least maybe do a little bit better than they did in their first year.
yeah.
But I think, new coach and everything, they are going to be the team to experience the growing pains.
Okay.
Outside of other teams that have had new coaching.
I'm gonna give you guys my pick. I'm taking the Bears to be disappointed this season. Sorry, Ralph. But no, it's because hear me out. Ben Johnson, amazing offensive coordinator, right? He did amazing with the Lions. This is his first year head coaching. It's a whole different ball game. From just working on the offense. Now you're working on both teams, special teams. You have to control everything. So it's going to be some first time nerves. The hype is real on these guys. Obviously, we think the Bears are supposed to make the playoffs, possibly go to the Super Bowl because of this whole hype. The team is good, but I think they're going to be disappointing, and everyone's going to be again, same old Bears. They didn't do anything, and for us, me and Rob, we talked before, them going 7-10, 8-9, that's improvement. That's what we want to see, right? As people who've seen the Bears go 5-12, 3-14 or whatever. So I say there's gonna still be on I can see them being again 7-10 maybe at the most. They're playing some tough teams. They're playing the AFC North.
Yeah.
So
So what would you guys consider a disappointing season for them?
If they don't break 500, because they have the weapons. Again, you got Caleb Williams, you have Ben Johnson, you have DJ Moore, Odunze, you just got Loveland. You got some good draft picks. Like your offensive line is amazing, Ralph. From what they just did this offseason. If they have a losing record, to me it's disappointing. I'm cool.
I see it.
I'm cool if they go 9-8. It's barely over, but it's over.
Dude, 9-8. I dream of 9-8.
Are you expecting a playoff run?
At most, I'm seeing a playoff first round exit at most. As they get to the playoffs, they showed, the Ben Johnson effect. It showed. If they make the playoffs, Ben Johnson's doing his job. He did everything right. If they don't get to the playoffs, it's questionable again.
Well, if we look at Dan Campbell, what he did with the Lions, is that something you're expecting?
Yes. Yeah, he just again, it's his first season. That's what I'm saying. His first season, I don't expect them to be Super Bowl winners, right? Look at Dan Campbell's first season, right? They were still losing, then they got better, and now they went 15-2 last season. That's amazing.
Because if we compare Jared Goff with Caleb Williams, I think Caleb Williams has more talent.
Yeah.
But where Goff hasn't beat is experience and efficiency.
Yeah.
And I think Caleb Williams has to be efficient this season.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. That's what I'm saying. It's a big season for the Bears, but I can just see them being disappointing. Yeah, it's gonna be new. I'm excited for this team. I'm not rooting for their disappointment. I can just see it happening. But I also, I have the Lions being disappointing as well because they lost Aaron Glenn and Ben Johnson. Two of the best coaches, the two of the best coordinators last season. So that's why I can see them kind of struggling this year, but they have the weapons. Jared Goff, my boy, I really like Jahmyr Gibbs. I'm trying to get his jersey. They got Montgomery, Amon Ra. It's just, I'm not a Lions fan like that, but I want a Jahmyr Gibbs jersey, bro. That shit's cool. I have my Bengals also being disappointing. Our defense did not improve. We only got a couple guys, but I don't know if that's what we really, really needed. Our O-line is still scary. I know it's preseason, but they still look scary. Joey B's going to have a lot of work. He's going to be quick. He's going to be quick on his feet. Jamar Chase is going to have to be doing, his things.
I think this Bengals team, their biggest mistake will be not investing more in their defense. And I tell you that from experience. That team we had with, I think it was back in 2018, all offense, no defense. We played against the Patriots, and our defense is what lost us the game.
Yeah.
And that's the off season, we invested heavily in defense, and look at the
your defense is good.
And I think that's the only thing holding back Joe Burrow, honestly.
Yeah. Because if you put let's say this way, if you put Joey B on the Chiefs, would he have 1 to 3
Yes.
Hey, let's go.
I think he's talented.
Yeah, I agree. With a good defense,
I think he's elite. I think he's an MVP favorite. I just don't think his defense
it's not saving
plays
him.
at his level.
Yeah, agreed, 100%. Our defense is garbage. Hopefully it's just...
It must be frustrating to drop 40, 45.
Right.
And still lose.
You're averaging 33 points a game, and you're still losing, bro.
And that's exactly what Mahomes went through.
Yeah, okay.
He was passing for 300 a game. He passed for 50 that whole season.
And he's still
to be fair, we lost in overtime. We could have honestly made it to the Super Bowl, but it
wasn't his time yet.
It's a touchy subject for us, Chiefs fan. That D Ford offsides.
All right. I also have the Steelers. Again, we talked about it earlier. They can be disappointing. Aaron Rodgers is getting old, or is already old. Sorry, Aaron Rodgers is already old. A Steelers team hasn't always been the best. Yeah, they're winning records. Cool, 9-8. But is he really going to make that playoff difference? You know what I mean? Do you really see the Steelers in the playoffs next season?
I think they'll do the same as every other year.
Yeah.
I think they're going to be okay to make it into the playoffs and just quietly.
Because they still have that elite defense, right? The defense has always been good, but just the offense.
There's nothing that stands out at me.
Yeah.
They're on their offense.
Yeah.
They don't have that it factor.
All right. And then who do you guys have being the worst team next season? You guys already know mine.
I think I'm sticking to the Panthers.
Being the worst?
Yeah.
All right. Why?
I think they need a lot of improvement.
Okay.
I think Bryce Young has some good upside, but I don't think the team they have built around him is strong enough for him to compete.
Okay. Ralph?
Yeah, I'm going to go with the New Orleans Saints as being the worst team of the NFL.
Yeah, they've made no improvements.
I think they're terribly managed.
They're terribly managed all around, from the head office to the coaches. It's not their fault. It's just the organization is not doing what needs to be done. They're not paying guys. They're not moving on from guys, and they have no quarterback right now.
Yeah,
their best player is Alvin Kamara, and that's it.
Yeah, they're in a tough position. I think if I'm Arch Manning, I
don't want to go there.
I don't want to go there.
Sorry, Saints fans. We don't mean to shade your team, but let's be honest.
I think if I'm Arch Manning, I don't declare for the draft and stay another year.
Yeah, I saw a tweet or whatever. Yeah, a tweet that was like, they're saying Arch Manning's going to stay at Texas one more year, and a Saints fan like, that's fine. We're going to suck in 2026 as well.
If that's the case, just take a red shirt.
Yeah, it's crazy. All right, so those are the disappointing teams. All right, now let's move on. Let's talk MVP favorites. Again, we do this every year before the week one. MVP favorites. I'm going to go with mine first. I have Josh Allen going with the back-to-back. I have, who should have probably been last year's if he made the playoffs, Joey B. And then you can never count out Lamar Jackson. What about you? What about you, Ralph?
Oh, so many to choose from. I'm going to go with Lamar.
Lamar, okay.
I think I'm going to just stick it at Lamar. If the Bengals miraculously have a defense in the league, I'm giving it to Joe.
For sure.
But, Lamar had a fantastic year last year.
Yeah.
He probably should have been MVP last year.
Yeah.
I think that train doesn't stop.
Yeah.
He's just not a guy to stop. I'm going to give it to Lamar.
Okay. Brian.
I think I agree. I'm going with Mr. Unanimous. I think if the Ravens can rack up 13 wins, I think they give it to him.
Yeah.
I think, like Ralph said, Joe, you can't count him out. If his team wakes up this season and, picks up the slack, I think he can take it. And I think a dark horse for me would be Mahomes.
Okay. Oh, interesting.
I think it's instinctually I want to say Mahomes every year, right?
Yeah.
But No, yeah, we have a couple weapons this year. We have Xavier Worthy, his second year. We got Rashee Rice.
Is he still playing? He was like dealing with some
I think the
illegal
whole
stuff.
situation with the whole suspension right now, he hasn't been given a suspension, but he will. He will. I think what they're trying to decide is when.
Okay.
I think they're strategically trying to give him his suspension either the first 4 games or after the first 4 games. Either way, our first 6 games of the season are going to be super tough. So, I'm not expecting much from them in the start of the season, just because I know we'll either be with or without him, and it is going to be a tough stretch of games.
Yeah, because who else do you guys have? Like Rashee Rice.
We have Rashee Rice, Xavier Worthy. We have Hollywood Brown.
Okay. Oh yeah.
I believe we still have Juju. Travis Kelce.
Yeah.
I don't know if you familiar with Noah Gray.
Yeah.
His backup super solid.
No, he's solid.
Super dependable. Great hands. I see him as the future tight end of the Chiefs.
And then you guys got Pacheco.
We have the Pacheco and Kareem Hunt duo.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they're going to be great this season.
Yeah,
Last year they were building chemistry. I think this year they put the pieces together.
Yeah. Yeah, man, it's gonna be a good season, bro. I'm excited. I just can't wait for it to start. And we're 2 weeks away. I hope my team does.
Dude, remember I had Jared Goff as MVP last year?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you had Jared. Yeah, you had Jared. He was close. He wasn't like he was that. He was like at least
I think
talks.
I think Jared Goff. I would compare him to Alex Smith when he played for the Chiefs.
Yeah.
I think he was good enough to get us to a playoff, but I don't think he's gonna be good enough to win them the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Damn, Lions. Sorry, Lions.
Yeah, that's his limit right there.
Yeah. And then you got to go against the Eagles if you want to get to the Super Bowl. Like that's crazy, man. That team is hard to beat. Let alone,
that's a super team right there.
That's literally a super team for the next at least 3 years. With Jalen Hurts, Devonta Smith, Saquon is on there. So we'll see. Okay, so we have to do this every season. Obviously, Super Bowl picks. Who do we have in the final? Brian, let me start with you. Who do you have battling in the NFC Championship?
Oof, it's gonna be a tough one for NFC. Not much. I mean, I think your only 2 contenders are the Eagles and the Lions.
Yeah. Okay.
I think the Lions are incredibly hungry. I think they're ready to take it all this year, but there's no way you stop the Eagles.
Yeah,
I just don't think you do. And I think their experience takes them to the next level again. Yeah. And for the AFC side, I mean, I think it's obvious.
Says the Chiefs fan over here, man.
Yeah, I mean, I want to go against the Eagles again. I want us to avenge that loss.
Bro, they're not going to make it, bro. They're not going to the Super Bowl.
I think we need the rematch. No, yeah. And for whatever reason we don't make it, God forbid, I'd like to see the Bills get there.
Yes, that's who I want the Bills. I want the Bills. I want Josh Allen to get his ring, man. All right, so you got the Bills and Eagles or Lions, mostly Eagles.
Mostly Eagles for sure. Okay. I would love to see the Lions get there.
See, with the Lions right now, I agree. I would love the Lions to get there, but losing Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn, do you guys think that's a big effect on this team?
Well, the difference, I mean, I think they're being, you've got a team led by Aiden Hutchinson and on the offense,
Jahmyr Gibbs, Jared Goff.
You've got Goff. He's, I think he's, as much as you don't want to admit it, he's a catalyst for this team.
Yeah, he's good, man. He's good for sure. Okay, so let's say you got Bills, you got the Bills and the Eagles. All right, Ralph, so your turn. Who do you have in the AFC Championship?
It's tough. This time, I'm sorry, but I think it's going to be the Ravens and the Bills.
Okay.
I think it's going to be a heartbreaking loss because one of those guys is going home.
Yeah.
And one of those guys, it's going to be bittersweet. It's a bittersweet battle between the Buffalo Bills and the Baltimore Ravens. That's why I have an AFC.
Okay. NFC. What you got?
I have a rematch. I have a rematch between the Commanders and the Eagles.
Damn. You got
Jaden Daniels I know.
Back. You know what? We didn't even speak about Jaden Daniels. I think he's going to have his sophomore slump just out of random.
You know what?
I agree.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
With everything going on with Terry McLaurin, it's an unknown. We're going into unknown for the Commanders. Will they have him at the start of the season?
Yeah.
I think I think this team goes as far as McLaurin takes them. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Because he was very valuable last season to this team. So I can see what
How
you're
are
saying.
you replacing that production?
Yeah. All right.
Mhm.
So you
That's
said
true.
so you got the rematch and you got the Eagles going.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you have a so you don't know who Bills or Ravens. You just have
Oh, to the Super Bowl,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with the Ravens. And then
Ravens
if we're
against
talking, if we're talking between the Eagles and the Commanders, I'm talking the Eagles.
all right. So you got Eagles and Ravens. That'd be a great matchup. Jalen Hurts, Saquon Barkley against Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry.
Oh yeah, it's a bird battle
Yeah, that's
between
gonna
the
be crazy.
birds.
It's gonna be a running game. All right. So in my AFC championship, I have, same as you, I have the Bills and the Ravens. Like, these are just the two powerhouse teams on this side right now. Sorry to your Chiefs, man. But I don't think they're gonna be as amazing this year as we expect from the Chiefs. They're gonna have a little downfall, nothing too crazy, but just I think Josh Allen and Lamar is gonna lead their two teams to the AFC championship and do their thing.
I think they remain the standard of the league. I think everybody continues to look up to the Chiefs. You know what I mean?
They can because of who they are and what they've done, the dynasty that they have, but I feel like this is it. This is the dynasty just goes down. Sorry, man. I know you hate hearing it. But I have Josh Allen and the Bills taking off and going to the Super Bowl. NFC, it's kind of tough for the second team. Eagles, obviously, they're just the powerhouse. I do like that you said the Commanders, but I can see Jaden Daniels having that slump this season. I don't know. I can see the Bears. No, I don't know, man. That's a tough one. It could be the Rams. I like the Rams. The Rams could be a good. I can see the Rams, if they're healthy. I can see the 49ers.
They almost surprised everybody last year.
Yeah, no, they really did.
They played the Eagles really well.
Yeah, and they almost came back. They literally, it's a snow game. Bro, what you laughing
It
at?
was the
man?
snow. If there was no snow, they would have made it.
Yeah. I mean, now you added Devontae Adams, which I don't know if that's a big
No,
add,
yeah, I think he continues his production, and I think he remains elite.
Okay, because I love him. Green Bay Packer guy. Puka Nakua, Kyron Williams, and Matt Stafford. You got some guys in this team.
That's the deadly duel for sure.
It's gonna be awesome to see them, and I'm rooting for them. So I can see Rams Eagles as well, Super Bowl. So then I can see Eagles taking over and Bills against the Eagles. I think that'll be a game that America wants to watch. Bills, Josh Allen against reigning MVP of Super Bowl, Jalen Hurts.
Or we could see the rematch.
Or we can see a rematch. This guy. Come on, man. Get him off the show, man. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, thank you guys for being, Ralph, thanks for coming in and being on the call. Brian, thanks for being here.
Yeah.
And thank you guys so much for watching. If you can, like, subscribe, share the video, give us some comments, leave some feedback, ask some questions. We'd love to hear and respond to anything like that. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to put the game on.